Good afternoon and welcome to The Balance of Life. I am Pastor Angel Ferguson and I thank you so very much for joining us today. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It is our honor and our pleasure to come and spend some time with you on today. We did take a few days off last week because when I returned back from the revival in Swainsboro, Georgia, I was under the weather. And so, with caution, I got some rest and I was just quiet. But we did share with you teaching from Bible study on last Wednesday from Faith Outreach Deliverance Church, Bridgeton, New Jersey, talking about when God responds to you. And you can go over to our YouTube channel and view that Bible study teaching, as well as it is on the Facebook page for The Balance of Life. So today, I want to talk to you about something, and this hit my spirit, I want to say, yesterday. And it's called The Closed Room. And just such a prophetic word, the closed room. It's words of encouragement. And it is actually going to be a part of our June issue of Hope and Truth magazine. So be on the lookout. You can purchase Hope and Truth magazine, our May issue, via Amazon. And we will make sure that you can purchase the June issue as well. You can come to us directly or via Amazon. And let me not forget, you know what, on Thursday, we wanted to do a giveaway from our publishing division. We did give away a magazine this month. We gave away a book this month. And we have some other things to give away. So we put out a challenge on Thursday, and hopefully before the end of the month we can do some more giveaways from our publishing division. All right. So I was up and like I said, for the past few days, for the past week, I have not been feeling well. And I literally saw this room, and it was like I was closed in. And I begin to hear the Holy Spirit say, you have the keys to exit this room. You have the keys to exit a closed door. Oftentimes, because we limit ourselves in the thought process of what God can do through our lives, we close ourselves off. And I often hear people say, it's just going to take one person one day to come across what you have written, what you have spoken, to hear you teaching and ministering, and that's going to be your open door. And this got so good to me even on last night as the Holy Spirit was dealing with me about some things, and I'm going to share that with you as well. And I'm going to tell you that you have the key to open up that door. Sometimes, and we're coaching today, sometimes the people that we expect to applaud us or to support our endeavors, they still see you as you were, especially if it's family, because they grew up with you and they are familiar with you. And then you have people who have met you at a pivotal point in your life. You might have just gone through or in the midst of a trial and tribulation, and when you meet people at that point in your life, they think that that's your beginning. They have the idea that you've always struggled, and so they only see you in a struggle. I hope I'm making sense to someone about that. And so we look for those who we have in our family. We look for them to support us. But once again, they only see the individual as growing up, in a familiar atmosphere, and they don't really see the potential that you have on your life. And then, once again, you have individuals
giggling to myself now
who
because there's so
only
much power in our words.
they only see you.
So I thought, okay, well, she really still wants a dog because after
All right, they only see
woman,
you
excited, and
in
I said,
places of struggle,
okay. I said, well,
and
music
you
is
have to
good.
move
You
past that.
should get a dog.
You have to
Oh,
move past
okay.
that.
Well, I said,
But
well,
what I
take
want to
the
say to you
opportunity to
today
present
is
yourself. I guess
see yourself
because
as God sees you. See
everybody
yourself
always has
according
some sort of
to
event
the
or
gifts and talents that God has placed in your life. You have been created with great wisdom, and you have been created with a broad understanding of who God created you to be. Use those keys to come out of that room, to come out of the shell and the shadow of what people have placed you in. Uh, you are more than a conqueror in Jesus Christ who strengthens you. You're more than a conqueror. And so I want to take the time because I'm going to now go over to our wisdom app. And hello, this is Pastor Angel Ferguson, and I want to just share with you all, our word for today. We're talking about the closed room, and we're talking about how individuals that we are connected to, uh, they seem to only see you based off of their experience with you. So if it's family, they see you as growing up. They see the mistakes that you've made. They see the still immature person. They don't really recognize the gifts and talents that you have upon your life. And even when you do show those gifts and talents, then they also will only see it to a certain extent at a bare minimum. And then you come across people who will see you at a pivotal point. You've gone through some trials and tribulations, and they see you, and they always see you in a struggle. And when the Holy Spirit was dealing with me about this closed room, I could literally see this room closed, and I was hearing you have the keys to open the door of this room. You have the keys to step out of what you have been closed off to. A lot of times we close ourselves off. And we close ourselves off because we accept the limitations that people say or think about us. And so when we hear or we don't get the support that we desire or that we want from family or those that we are connected to, then a lot of times we will silence our own voice. We will not move ahead in our purpose, goals, and dreams. And we will become stagnant. And that is a closed door. That is a closed door. So don't close yourself off to what you have inside of you. Uh, Open up. And I want to encourage you today just to know that there is a whole audience. There is a whole audience that is waiting to hear what you have to say. Our families are not necessarily our audience. Because if we think about it, somebody along the way at one point of time came along and talked to and inspired them. And so what you have down in you, the gifts and talents that you have in you, they are meant for a specific audience. Now, when I say a closed room, I'm talking about limiting who you reach. because you are waiting for someone else to come along, someone from family, someone from your inner circle connections to applaud you, to really be on 100% of everything that you do. And let me tell you, uh, that is just not realistic. When we make connections, no matter what our area of business or ministry, it is really for tools. Iron sharpens iron. And so, what I provide, and this right here is so funny. So, it was really twofold what I was dealing with. I provide a platform for other individuals. And whenever you have a platform, those who you invite to be a part of that platform, they listen. They can accept, or they can decide not to accept. They can accept, or they can, say no, thank you. Well, I was looking over the platform that I have been given, and here is what I have discovered. I have, because I just love to give back, I have found that I have invited some individuals. It starts off with sending me an inbox to ask me about purchasing their products, or if I want to sell their products. Well, I have a lot on my plate, and that's just not something that I'm into. Well, I in turn, and here's my way of showing support, because that's not something that I'm into, and I take it as is you are looking to expand your business, you want to expand your sales quota. And so I have offered opportunities of, if you send me over a flyer of your information, I can make mention of it on the radio, or I can give you space in Hope and Truth magazine. Well, and guess what? I'm saying no charge. I'm saying no charge. That's my way of giving back. That's my way of showing support, because I see it as the purpose of you coming to me is because you want to expand your brand and you want to increase your sales. Well, this is going to take you, I don't think it's going to take you by surprise. They don't follow through. It's okay, you only want me to buy your product or to become up under you to sell. And so that's a closed room. What I'm saying to you, that's a closed room. So, on two parts, I provide a platform that I want to help people. But it's up to the individual to want to take the help. If you are one, so this is why this is twofold. If you are looking for support, if you are looking to expand your brand, it is going to take you stepping out of your comfort zone and out of your familiar ground. You have a very, very distinctive elect voice in the gifts and talents that you have been blessed with. And your familiar ground, your familiar supporters, which at first listen family, is going to, they're so proud of you right off. But then, I want to say this, and this is in no way to hurt or damage anyone, but it is a reality. They become dull to your continuous progression. And it hurts. I'm going to be very honest with you, it hurts. Because you expect those that you came from to support you. But that's not necessarily your audience. If we take an example, and if we were to look at the example of Christ, he could only do so many miracles in his own homeland because of the lack of faith And because they judged him, they saw him as the little boy growing up as Mary's son. They did not comprehend the full potential. But there was a whole world, there was another entire great setting that needed what he had. And so I say to you, that closed room that you were in that room, it's limited. There is an entire audience waiting for what you have. But you have to step out of that closed room, and you have the key to do so. So, you're asking, Pastor Angel, how do I come out of this closed room? First of all, I want you to believe by faith, because all faith is hope. Believe that you have what you have. You are gifted, you are talented, you are an expert in the field in which you have studied, in which you have experience. And what you have gained in experience is the road for your entrepreneurship. Whether you take those tools and you turn it into developmental tools for others coming into that field. Now you have a product. You can turn your expertise into writing manuals and opening up a training to develop others. Your product and your services, if I always look at the hairstylists, I always look at the child care providers, those who are in the medical field, whatever it is, architects, whatever it is, movie producers, screenwriters, makeup artists, graphic artists. There is an audience waiting for you. But if you limit yourself to those who are in the room with you, meaning those who are familiar with you, those who grew up with you, you are in a closed room. And you do not have to limit what God gave you, that talent and that gift. It should not be limited to just those people in that room. Where is your audience? Here's something else that came to me. Whenever a person begins to tell you that one day you're going to come across someone who heard you speak, who read your book, who experienced your services, and it's going to just open up for you, that individual has become dull with you. And that's a way of passing you along. That's a reality. They have become dull with every time they turn around, you're achieving something. Every time you turn around, you are releasing something. And when a person isn't releasing in their own personal life, then they become dull. They don't mean to do it, but they become dull with all of your achievements. And they still belittle you in their mind. They still see you in a place of struggle. They still see you and they begin to minimize the great accomplishments that you have done. But a part of coming out of the closed room is that you do not allow their thoughts or their actions towards you to minimize the greatness that is in you. Yes, we all had to grow up. And so when your family says, "Oh yeah, that's my little sister. Oh yeah, that's my little brother. That's my cousin." First of all, they are making a identification of connection with you. Okay? That's all that is. And then also they are minimizing your gifts and talents. Oh, I've always known them. They're not that special. And so listen, accept it, deal with it. But I need you to come out of this closed room because there is a world that you need to reach with the power of your voice, of what's inside of you. So, the topic of the closed room, and if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the Balance of Life. I'm Pastor Angel, and I thank you so very much for joining us today. I am a certified life coach as well as a ordained minister of the gospel. My main purpose is always going to be to tap into those gifts and talents that I know that are in you. I believe in the potential of you. I want you to believe in the potential of you. I want you to know that every day I want you to feed your dream. I want you to nourish your goals. Utilize the keys that you have. Believe in yourself. It doesn't matter if you have to work alone, as long as you work. As long as you set those goals for yourself and you pace yourself and you obtain those goals. I want my family to be proud of me. I do. I want to share everything that I do with them. I really do. But my presence is larger than where I came from. My presence has a destination of where I am going. I'll say that again. My presence is larger than where I came from. My presence has a destination of a very large audience. But if I stay locked in this room, that audience will never get what they need from me. They will never get the words of encouragement. They will never get to hear the motivational speaker. They will never get to the one who says, I believe in you and I want you to believe in yourself. They will never get to the one that says, let's develop a strategic plan to fulfill your purpose, goals, and dreams. Because the truth of the matter is this: everybody in the family unit, they might not want to reach their purpose, goals, and dreams. They might want to stay at a level of mediocre. They might not want to aspire to do anything. We all are individuals, but we are part of a large body. You are a part of a very large body. So when are you going to allow the other members of the body to meet you? As one of my very, very close partners in prayer always says, you just said something right there. You are a part of a very large body, a part of like-minded individuals that have purpose, goals, and dreams, that want to leave a legacy of that published book. You know, you want to give your memoir, or you are gifted and you are talented in writing short stories. You want to meet that goal. Well, guess what? There's someone else that wants to meet that goal too. And as you accomplish, as you fulfill that for yourself, there was someone somewhere across the world who is going to pick up your book that you have released. So this is what I say when I mean come out of the closed room. Because if you publish that book and no one knows about it except for your family, then who else are you going to inspire? If you like to write words of encouragement, but you only send it to your family, but you want to encourage others, well, how else is anybody else going to get it? Are you going to depend on family to send it to other people. No, those are your words and that is your voice. So on this May the 24th, 2022, I am saying to you, it is time for you to come out of that closed room. You've been in the closed room for so long, and you have so much to say. You have such a positive impact that you want to release into the lives of others. But you have sheltered yourself. You have fallen to the bracket of the way that they see you. Some people will only see you in a struggle. I'll say that again. Some people will only see you in a struggle. When you are silent and you are working and you are not spilling your heart everywhere, all you really need to do is produce. Sometimes that's all a person wants to see you do. That they can't see you do anything else. No matter what you put out, no matter what you do, they always see you struggling. You can make it, you can, oh gosh, you can release great work and your business could thrive and become prosperous, but you still will have people that only see you as a struggle, in a struggle. That's a closed room. So, what I'm saying to you today is you can't allow what people say, think, or how they see you predict how you move. Let them think what they want to think. Let them see what they want to see. It's what you answer to. So, are you always in a struggle? If you find that you are always in a struggle, let's develop a strategic plan to get you out of that struggle. Because you don't have to be in that closed room. You don't have to stay there. It's time to develop a strategic plan to help you fulfill those purpose, goals, and dreams. What is it that you desire to do? Write it out on paper. Get a journal. Begin to write it out. Write out what you want to do. And then the next step would be is to find out how to get to what you desire. I believe in vision. I really do. I believe in goals. I believe in dreams. But I have to find out how to get there. Let's take the process of writing a book. You have an idea to write a book, and the thoughts are in your head, and they go from your head to writing it out or typing it out or however. So that's one step. You have the idea, you take it from there to another step. Well, if you don't take it from to the next form, it's just going to sit there. It's in a closed room. And months and days and years can go by and you'll say, I have a book. But you never did anything with it. It's still closed off. You did a few steps. You took the thought to written formation, but you didn't take it any further. It's still on your laptop. It's still on the flash drive, and it's funny because I'm holding a flash drive in my hand right now. It's still in that notebook. You do not know, as a publisher, how I hear Many people say, I have notebooks and notebooks of writings, and one day I'm going to get them published. And one day never comes. That's a closed room. You ever come across someone that says, I have an idea? There's something that I want to do. I created these things, and they're still sitting there. They went from idea. Some ideas never leave the mind. That's a closed room. Some speeches, some words of encouragement, they never leave the room of your mind. Or they are stuck in notebooks. They're stuck on laptops. They're stuck on backs of paper where we've doodled and we've written the quotes out, and that's where they are. Somebody needs that quote. Somebody needs to hear the words in the story that you wrote. So it's time to come out of the closed room. Don't let your dreams die. So as I was thinking about this, and I thought long and hard, and I began to think about how I have offered others to come out of their closed room, and they declined my offer. What do you say about that? I pray for those individuals. I pray that they are, because it goes back to the analogy of saying, one day you're going to come across someone and they're going to hear your business idea. They're going to read your book. They're going to be a part of an audience where you are giving a speech, or you're ministering the word of God, and that's going to open up a whole platform for you. And here I am. I've heard someone's sales pitch. I've read someone's book. And I offer a platform. And they declined. That is having an individual in a closed room. I want you to come out of the closed room today. I want you to begin to live. I want you to begin to live your dream and live it abundantly. Live your legacy and leave something behind for your generation, for your children. Why should we wait for someone else to come along and inspire our children when you can do it? But it's going to start with you having faith in yourself. Believe that you can do it. And when you don't get the pat on the back from family, it's okay. Did you reach the goal you desired to reach? Do it for yourself. Remember our connections. When we say that we are connected with people, it is really for iron sharpening iron. It's something I'm supposed to learn from you, and it's something that you're supposed to learn from me. That's what our connections are all about. There's a difference between your connections and your audience. There is a difference between your connections and your audience. Your connections are learning and teaching tools. They are developmental tools. That's what your connections are all about. There is something that you need. There is another piece of the puzzle that you need so that you can properly give your audience what they deserve, which is the best of you. So understand the difference between connections and your audience. Your connections are teaching tools, developmental tools to help you deliver what your audience deserves. So, your connections of learning how to do public speaking is going to help you deliver that speech to your audience. So, you see the difference? Know your connection might not be at every audience. They might not be at every event. Their job with you is to deliver tools that are going to help you do better. So I don't want you to get upset with your connections. That's not what I'm saying to you. When you connect with someone, find out why you are connected. What tools am I supposed to release to them, and vice versa? Maybe they have some information that I need. Maybe I have some information that they need to help grow what's inside of you. So that when you stand behind that podium, when you walk through the doors of that business that belong to you, when you're sitting behind the desk and you are developing your product and you are rendering your services, you had some connections that help you develop along the way so that you can deliver what your audience needs from you. They need the better part of you. They need the best of you. But it's going to take some development to get there. You have the keys to unlock many of doors. Perfect your craft. If you want to start a YouTube channel, giving words of encouragement, doing tutorials in different areas, perfect it. Stand in front of the mirror. Do your sales pitch. Listen to your voice. Record yourself. Develop what's in you. Connect with someone who has already worked in that area. Bounce ideas off of each other. That is what connection is all about. So that you can deliver to your audience what they need from you. Somebody is looking for what you need. The reason why I'm going through the process of distinguishing connections from audience is because I want you to give the very best of you. And if you've just tuned in, you're tuning into The Balance of Life. I am Pastor Angel Ferguson. Yes, all of this is Ministry 101 because this is what ministry is all about. Giving you the tools so that you can do better. Giving you the proper tools to pursue your purpose, goals, and dreams. There is a voice inside of you. There is something that you have that the world needs. I would love to draw. Oh goodness, I really would. And subconsciously, I think I can. But in reality, I can't. But I know someone who does. Know what's inside of you. And do not allow anyone to put a limit on what you know it's inside of you. Do not second guess what you know to be true inside of you. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. There is always room for growth and development. No one is perfect. So continue to develop, but do not limit yourself based off of how people see you, whether it's family or anybody else. How do you see yourself? Years ago, I remember saying to my daughter, and I say this even now, people will call you what they want to call you, but it is what you answer to that matters. People will see you as they want to see you, but how you see yourself and what you allow them to see is what really matters. So I have a choice of what I allow you to see concerning me. Now, that doesn't mean that the eyes of the beholder does not get stuck and they only see you in one way. But how do you see yourself? What is it that you perceive of yourself? Are you achieving what you want to achieve? Do you encourage yourself? Do you ever tell yourself, you know what, do you ever tell yourself that I'm proud of you? Is that what you do? I do. I encourage myself. Do you ever look back over your purpose, goals, and your dreams, your accomplishments, and say, you know what? You did it. It's okay to do that. It is okay to do that. But the topic, the closed room, you have to step out. We all have that experience of being in a closed room. And that closed room is really mentally. It's a mental place. Well, they don't believe me, so they don't believe in me, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to pursue. Don't do that to yourself. There is a whole audience. I cannot stress that enough. There is a whole audience that is waiting to hear from you. That is waiting for the gifts and talents that are in you. It is time. Yes, it is time. It's a great time. Don't give up on yourself. You hold the key, and it starts with believing in yourself. Get an understanding of who you are. Get an understanding of the gifts and talents that you have, and let them be developed. And at the appointed time, step out in faith. Introduce yourself to the body that you are connected to. One body, many members. And we all have something to add. Not every member has the same function. Not every member will do the same thing. We may walk together. We may both be publishers, but we will not publish the same. There are two motivational speakers, life coaches that will walk together, but they will not do it the same way. So you are distinctively and uniquely made, created for such a time as this. I hope that we've shared something with you to encourage you and inspire you. We'll be back on tomorrow at 12:30 here on The Balance of Life. Have a blessed day, everyone.